Hello.
Yo,
What's going on, B? How are you? Windsay Records.
what's
Number
up? What's
one,
up?
what's going on?
Man, everything. Just staying positive and staying busy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, a whole lot of stuff going on.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. And this is not our first meeting. We've met before several times. So it's like I have to play catch up. Tell me what's been going on with the B and how long has it been since we actually smooched each other?
Man, it's been some years, honestly. I remember our very first interview. I was in college. I think I was like 18 or 19 or something. So yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, even since then, like just a whole bunch of stuff going on. Obviously, like I started the label in 2020, at the end of 2020. I dropped the album on the label and just been learning a whole bunch of stuff about the industry, getting new fans. Haven't been performing obviously because of the situation, but yeah, just making a lot of music, connecting with people. Life out here in LA is wild, you know what I'm saying? So
LA. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. So you made enough. Last time I thought you were in the NOLA in my part of the region where I grew up down in the NOLA, down in New Orleans. So you made a move. Is this a professional move or is this one of those other moves? What's going on?
Kind of like everything, really. I mean, professional move. I wanted to just a new start. Like, I lived in New Orleans most of my life. So I was just like, man, like I want to make a move for my career and I want a brand new start. Actually, this is my fourth year. So I actually moved in 2018. I'm saying the end of 2018.
Oh
Just
my
yeah, just packed
goodness.
everything and just left. Yeah, by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
my goodness. Okay, so you've been okay, so you planted your feet in LA. I know that Cali is really like has a reputation for being one of those overpriced cities where the struggle is really real, especially for people of color. And also,
Yeah.
getting into the music game, we don't hear too much about, people coming from the Cali area as much as we do from the Atlanta area. So tell me, how's it been trying to get your music or on a wave over there, near where you're at?
Well, it's definitely been a process. I mean, you kind of just learn, what you can do and where you can move and stuff like that, and how to maneuver. Um, it's definitely been great. I mean, the reception is different. Obviously, there's a lot more opportunity, a lot more things for me to tap into, a bigger population of people. And then kind of what it does, like for the brand, it kind of gives the brand a whole new look. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it goes from Be Is the Future in New Orleans to Be Is the Future in Los Angeles, which is it's a shiny look. But it hasn't always come with you know, happiness and smiles. You know what I'm saying? We all have our things that we go through, trial and error, dealing with just planting my feet out here. You know what I'm saying? Like coming out here is my first time ever buying an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like I had never done that before. Like I'm coming straight from my mom's crib. So yeah, that was like different. But yeah, like the music, like the inspiration I've been getting for the music, like it's been wonderful. Like waking up and seeing the palm trees and shit, that's just like a whole nother inspiration. So it's been great, honestly. Like when we got hit with this COVID thing, it definitely threw like a wrench and everything because like I was like performing. I had set up like a little small tour. So we just went around Hollywood, just like hitting spots and we did that and yeah, honestly I really haven't performed consistently since then, so it's been like at least 2 years, but it's been great, to be honest. Like I can't really say anything other than it's been great even with the challenges because it all builds up to be um a great result if you try to look at it that way, you see what I'm saying? So I just try to focus on the positive. Even the setbacks have served me. I mean, I've been through a whole lot out here, but we still standing strong, you feel me? So
Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah.
See, now this is my new Zoom series C. So this is real intimate. Not everyone gets the opportunity to come to the sofa with smooches because, you say that you were in college when we first started. I definitely, was just at the beginning of my oldest child getting ready to graduate from college at that time. So I know that
Wow.
it's been a journey. And even with me, I remember being one of the only real only faces out here, impressing the music at the time as a female. Not a lot of females were doing shows on indie artists, maybe rock bands, maybe live bands, but there weren't a lot of opportunities for the indie artists. And I knew I found my niche because I said, I want to make the artists feel like they are having a really great interview with some really difficult questions. So when they do get through the door through, to like an ARR at Universal or somewhere else, they'll be able to answer some of those hard questions, especially since I've been able to formulate them in my interviews. But
Yeah,
C is all
that's what's
about
up.
seeing you now, and also seeing that, letting other artists understand your motivation. And so that's what today's Soulful series is about. It's about seeing your journey, because I have seen you grow. I have seen you grow. I was like, and he is relentless. And I know
Yeah.
you probably, I always think smooches is smooching, but every person that I smooched in the last 10 years, like they've come back, smooches, I need another interview with you. I'm like, but you can get it with all these different podcasts that are blowing up. It was like, they're all well and good, but you know what? I thought about you. I went back to that old interview, and like, you really had something to say. And I want to say this because a lot of artists out there that are in the limelight, a lot of people respect them, but they don't respect the grind of the underground. And I've been able to maintain my undergroundness. I
Mm.
teach college students, and a lot of them are going to be surprised to know that I've had this show for quite some time, and I've been also kind of understanding what can we do to help artists get exposure even more. And so, with your mini tour, like, how did that come about? Who kind of came up with that idea for you?
Well, honestly, it was my homie Clay. He's actually the author of this comic book series called Ripped. So give him a little shout out.
Shout
But that's
out to
my
Clay.
guy.
What's up, Clay?
Yeah, that's my guy. Like we've been rolling tight out here. So basically, during the time I had moved to LA, and then probably about 8 months later, I was dealing with a breakup because my girlfriend at the time was still in New Orleans. So we were dealing with a breakup, and so I was just down and out, you know what I'm saying, different things like that. So he was just like, yo, man, like we need to get you out. Like, let's do a tour. Let's set up like a little tour or something. And I was just like, shoot, all right, So I just found like open mics, a bunch of open mics, just tapped in with some people that I did know, got some shows going, and we were going for like, I want to say like a month or something, or just like a couple weeks, something like that. But we had like a string of shows. We were even trying to do some shows outside of LA, but we probably did a handful. And like what made me know it was real, like that he was a real friend, it was like one of the nights we missed one of the shows because we forgot. He was like, man, we missed the show, we can't do that, you know what I'm saying? And that made me realize, I'm like, wow, I'm around like a real person, a real good dude. And yeah, it just it meant a lot to me though, to like put that together and for people to see it too. Like everybody back home was like seeing it. They were like, man, you going on tour? But it's like as simple as, yo, I'm making the decision to go out and just do a bunch of shows. I'm gonna package it as a tour. You know what I'm saying? Like, who says
Okay.
I can't? You see what I'm saying? So I did that, and yeah, just straight independent. I mean, everything I've done is independent. I mean, obviously I'm my own label now, so yeah, I take
Okay.
pride in it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
So yeah.
definitely. Well, shout out to Clay and anybody like him, because I remember when I first started this show, that was my dream. If you go to my original page on Wix.com, I was building it. I was like, I'm gonna grab all these indie artists. I'm gonna go buy I'm gonna buy my own little RV van, and we're gonna go on tour. And that led me to Atlanta. I met a lot of great artists that I still, Dre Banks and just so many different people that I met out in Atlanta. And I was telling them, I'm going to start a tour, and I'm going to start an indie tour, and you guys are going to get paid because you put too much money in it. People were losing their families, baby mothers were, just so exhausted with how much dedication that artists were giving to this craft. And I said, they just don't respect that they know what they want to do. And this is what, this is something they're trying to do for the whole family. This is like a
Mhm.
legacy when you get ready to become an artist, you become a legacy for your family. But a lot of times families weren't supporting, people were saying get a day job. And after the pandemic, people understood like, wow, those artists, wow, we got to go gather those artists, because they knew already that it was getting ready to be a time where, you wouldn't be able to just, work. And where a lot of people are going to start working from home, or, giving up their day jobs to do, to pursue their dreams. And, I say for any artist that's out there, if you can be inspired by just what B is the Future did with just starting your own indie tour. And it only takes a couple of people, management, tour person, and you can do it by yourself. There's a couple of sites out there as well where you can get on a tour, but it's better just starting small and doing it like a family thing. So, I thank you for, just doing it, because that's the big thing in this industry. It's like a lot of people want to be on IG all day. That's not doing it. That's kind of like putting up the image all day, but really putting a tour together, no matter how big or small, that's big. That's big thinking. So I want to get into big thinking with you, because I know you're in LA now, and I want to know, so where's your heart going to belong if something unimaginable, I'm not going to say unimaginable happens? What would you do if you had to step out? Are you repping NOLA, or are you repping LA?
Oh man, it's New Orleans all day, every day, forever. You know what I'm saying? People
All
people
right,
know
shout out
that.
to my Wardies. You already know.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
hometown of Leesville is so small, and we haven't had an artist out of there, but we have had a lot of heart. So a lot of people tried to do this art, but they just, they didn't have the heart to keep doing it. But so I just thank you for coming into the show, and I want to know what is on the horizon for this label that you have, how you came up with the name, and what inspired you to just be owned by yourself, owning your own
Oh yeah,
masters.
yeah, for sure. So well, first of all, the name is it's my last name, Windsay. It was literally the most original thing that I could think of. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't have to worry about if anybody else had. So I was like, okay, my last name. And yeah, basically like I have a lot of just different things I want to do this year. I want to hire staff. I have like a couple artists in mind that I want to look towards building a relationship with, and then eventually maybe offering them a contract to their respective situations. Um, we have 3 releases so far, my album, and then 2 other albums by this artist, Norm the General, who I'm basically administering his releases. He hasn't signed under my label, but he releases stuff under me, and then I promote him and stuff like that. We have a relationship. But yeah, just a lot of things. Like me owning my masters was a big thing, because once I understood the industry, 'cause that's another thing that the pandemic did for me. I was able to like really sit back and observe, because like I was working a job at a restaurant, and then once that shut down, I was like, okay, let me try to understand this game. So when I do come back out with some music, or like just emerge back on the scene when things are looking better, I'm able to understand these terminology and what publishing is, what your masters are, and how much that's really worth, licensing, like what it really means to own your stuff. And when you own your stuff, you have complete control over where it gets played, how much money you can make. And then it's forever money. Like a lot of artists don't understand the forever money. You know what I'm saying? Publishing, you're a songwriter, and if you're also a producer like me, you get, you know what I'm saying? You get paid for these things. So you have to understand, and I'm still learning. I don't know everything, but I mean, compared to like 2 or 3 years ago, I was real green. You know what I'm saying? Like when I came to LA, I was trying to get a deal with Rock Nation, and I got really, really close, like extremely close. But the thing is, I'm glad they didn't sign me, because if they did, they would have to take in all of my masters, all of my publishing, in order for the deal to make sense. I didn't have any leverage. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm building leverage now, but like at the time, I'm just some kid, you know what I'm saying? They're like, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the building. I'm like, yo, I'm from New Orleans, sign me, da, da, So, but it was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. I had to learn. So I just encourage artists just to learn about the business, man. If you're really serious about this, learn about the business, understand like what I'm doing. It isn't like it's not. I don't think it's for everybody. Some artists, I think they'll thrive better on a label, or just doing like being 100% dependent, like no label, just them and their team. Like I know artists that do that. I know artists that sign. It's all about what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, just study the game, man. Like study the game. You really want it, you gotta study the game. You know, that's what I try to do. Try to be a student. You know, because I'm still a fan. I'm a fan first, and I'm a student. You know, so yeah.
Smooches. So that's seeing. I love that seeing part because you helped me see, and the other artists that I have lined up for this series, I felt like, you know what, at the end of this, what will I learn? To me, it's more like I'm in a research lab and I want people to see that, you know, different artists, authors, you know, people who are entrepreneurs, innovators, inventors, you know, developers, creators. And I remember these are now terms like we've been here. So these are like terms I'm like, wow, everybody is doing it. I remember people say, keep going, smooches, keep going. Because the game, you know, the game needs you. And now I find that I felt at one point that it was oversaturated. So I took a hiatus. And I said, let me try to reinvent what's going on with this show, what smooches really meant. And in the meantime, I had some things come into play to help me perfect being able to, you know, the line of questioning I always thought was, you know, my thing. I was like, all right, I got this line of questioning. People keep coming back. And so I kind of, you know, perfected that. And I'm loving where, you know, where everything is going right now. But one of the things you talked about was, you know, the pandemic kind of slowed you down from being able to do live performances. But with this
Mm-hmm.
whole metaverse thing that's coming out, and I remember telling people 5 years ago, you know, you could be an artist, people don't even need to see you. You could be an artist where you're placed in, you know, on a TV show, no one even knows who you are until the credits roll. Or you can be an artist, you know, that you know just kind of stays behind the scenes and people do your music. And now it's like ghostwriters. It used to be a thing where ghostwriters, you know, people didn't tell. Everybody has a ghostwriter now. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
there's not too much that you can't do in a game. But as I'm thinking about it, what about performing in the metaverse? How serious do you think that's going to be in the near future?
Oh, honestly, I think it's gonna be a really, really big thing. I mean, I'm already seeing things start to develop. Like, I don't know if you heard, like a couple got married in the metaverse, and you know, you can buy land, and there's a lot of things going on. I think it's gonna be the future of um creativity, artists, business, like commerce. It's like a whole nother reality. So it's something that I'm definitely like trying to stay up on. Right now I'm like trying to learn about the NFTs and stuff like that. Like
Oh,
I'm on
everybody's
that
on
now.
NFTs.
Yeah, I'm on that right now. And then kind of, I guess once I get a better grasp of that, then I'll like dive into the meta because I think it's all opportunity for all of us. Like every creator, business owner, people who have their own platform. There's some type of way we can all take advantage, and you know, be a part of this. Because I mean, it's yeah, it's gonna be like one of them things, man. Like kind of like TikTok or something, where it's like
Okay.
you know, the value is I feel like it's there. Like, and even if you don't see it now, because I didn't understand TikTok. I was like, yo, I don't know what this is. This is for kids. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm understanding like the place to promote. You have to try to make it work for you and understand the opportunity because the world is gonna start uh, moving around it, and you know, you want to get your piece or like at least try to understand what's going on because everybody gonna be talking about it and it's gonna be everywhere. Just like crypto and NFTs and TikTok, it's like the hottest topics if you talk to like a 16-year-old or something. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to stay updated and know what's going on. I mean, you know,
I think that's
I'm not
really
that old.
important.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's
yeah.
important. I do have one question that's linked to that. So, do you see any downsides to the metaverse? Because I also, although I keep myself abreast of stuff, I also think that there's going to be some downside that if you can have foresight, hindsight, foresight, what they call it, into the future, you can see that there may be some some things that may not jive a little bit with the human nature. So what do you think are some of the things that and I know this is a hard question. What are some things that you think that may be detrimental to the human race because of this augmented and virtual realities, things such as the metaverse?
Well, you know what? Here's what I would say. I feel like right now, spamming is like at an all-time high. I don't know if you see like a lot of people, their Instagram pages getting taken, and you know, like randomly they'll post, "Oh, I just made $10,000 off of Bitcoin." You know,
Oh
so it's
God.
like spammers or hackers are just. I mean, the technology is crazy. So I'm definitely assuming that they're going to be trying to infiltrate the metaverse, and
Oh,
they've already. I think I heard Russia they stole like like millions of dollars worth of crypto or something, you know, like, so you have these people that are using their intelligence for things that are not so good. So it's gonna have that. People are gonna be trying to be selfish and greedy and trying to take more than what's there, or I would say take things that aren't theirs and, you know, try to move illegally. So it's gonna be there. I mean, just like you have in regular society, people doing illegal activities, you're talking about a whole nother reality where it doesn't really seem like, I mean, how can you govern it? You know what I'm saying? You can't really, I guess you can kick them off the metaverse, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So
You
it's
got it.
gonna
You
be
got
there.
something there, because I think that's where we're going to go. I think it's going to be governed in a way in which people think they can go to the metaverse and do all kinds of things. And you're right. You know, they stole crypto. Mark Zuckerberg had to deal with a girl in the metaverse that said someone touched her butt, and
Wow.
yeah, that she was in a way sexually harassed on the metaverse. Now remember, we're
Right.
not there, and they said there's really no way to govern that. So she wanted to press charges. And I was like, okay, where are we going too far? And how far are we going to go? And I think that before kids even get into the metaverse, that there needs to be some rules and some boundaries, because remember, a lot of the people that are moving towards that are children or of, you know, not of age yet. I mean, as adults, we feel like, oh, this is a great place, but I just think that it is going to leave an opening in some ways. But you know, that's the metaverse, and this is just the future of what's going on. But
Right.
smooches. Let's move on to our very last topic. This our time goes by so quickly, and I
I
want to
know.
get to all I know it goes so quickly, and I want to get to some other things. So I also want to talk about culture, our culture. There's been some things that I've been hearing in our culture, and I want us to change. So I was wondering, are there some things that you see out there with your own culture that you would like to change? One or two things that you'd like to see change in the next 5 years or so?
That's a good question. Um, I guess I would. Mm, oh, okay. You know, here's one. I would like to see us be like less judgmental, right? Like the internet, it for some reason it puts a lot of people, I guess, in the mindset of you know, they have the position to judge the next person. Um, I think that if we focus on just like collaborating, focus on love, focus on, I mean, it's not gonna be perfect. We're not gonna live in a utopia, but I feel like people being judgmental is at an all-time high. I mean, especially with social media, and I think, you know, and these are people that's unhappy with themselves, obviously. So I think if people practice more self-love and less worrying about what people think, less trying to you know, spread negativity. I mean, I think the negativity is it's terrible these days, man. You know, it's definitely almost seemed cultural to hate on something, you know. So I definitely would like that to change. I would like to see more love. That's why I try to spread the good energy and stuff like that to people. But yeah, like, you know, I would like to see people do more things that they love and care about, you know, and not think that it's unachievable or stupid or anything like that. And then, you know, a lot of people are kind of just listening to what's around them, their parents, things like that. And you know, parents, you know, mama knows best. Like, I love my mother, but at the end of the day, my real message is for people to trust themselves and to like really just go forward with that. You know, I feel like it's a repeated narrative of people trying to do what other people think that they should do. I think that's just yeah, that's a repeated narrative. So yeah, I just would like to see more positivity, honestly. Us all coming together more, you know what I'm saying? More creative people trusting their ideas more. But I think I'm starting to see peaks of it though, for sure. Like, I don't think it's all bad. Like, and it's really what you pay attention to. So I just try to pay attention to like the good stuff, you know? It's always gonna be a contrast. You know, you're not gonna have all good, you're not gonna have all bad. It's just everything just is, you know. So I just try to focus on that. But if it's a change, yeah, like we should try to look at the positive more. You know what I'm saying? Negativity is ridiculously high. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes going on Twitter makes me go crazy because I just be like, "Well, what are y'all talking about?" You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, yeah. But I got to protect my own energy. You feel me? So
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well said, B. Very well said. Very well said. And like I said, I brought, some really interesting people. The last person I had was Chandrina Hajimara. And, she's one of the very rare women who works in stem cell technology, but she's also in robotics. And she's thinking of, she's bought land so that she can build the first Black resort. And, we talked
Mm,
about a lot of things. And I noticed that you mentioned parenting a couple of times. And I think, parenting, is also one thing that I'd like to see change. I'd like to see parents encourage more, you know, uh, a lot of times, not just on the religious aspects of where the child is going and the educational aspects, but the purpose. A lot of times you don't understand your child's purpose, or you don't understand
mm,
that your child has what they like or what they don't like. So in the parenting aspect as well, that's where judgment starts sometimes. So hopefully if we can be better parents, we can be, better to those that we love around us. If you don't have any children, just, and remember, I felt like even if you don't have children biologically, there's always your friends, and you kind of have to parent your friends sometimes.
yeah.
You think about how many people have tried to start a art, a career with music, and their friends won't even buy their, won't even stream their music. To me, a
Mm,
parent, if you're a friend, you're a parent, and a parent has to buy the music. They have to, at least support sometimes. And so I hope that we do. But I must say, I enjoyed you, and I want to know. We didn't get a chance to really talk about your music, but I want you, before we get off of here today, I want you to talk a little bit about where they can find, where my listeners or viewers can find you, and if you have a YouTube page, because that's the new thing. Everybody's getting YouTube pages and different things, and if you have a YouTube page, and where can they start streaming your music?
oh yeah, for sure. So you can find me everywhere. B is the future. That's B with two E's, no spaces. I'm on YouTube. I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Only place I'm probably not as active is what is it called? Triller. What is that little the app? But I'm everywhere. That's the only app you
That
probably
you
don't see
probably
me
don't.
posting. Yeah, but I'm
Can't
everywhere.
be everywhere,
Snapchat.
B.
Yeah, hit me
You can't be
everywhere, man.
everywhere. Sometimes you gotta, like, consolidate, because I remember SoundCloud, Space, MySpace, like and a lot of artists have a lot of content. They're gonna see that in the future. They have content spread across all these places, Audio Mac, like all these different places. And I think that's gonna be money in the future, even though they didn't think you probably stopped your career, but you're gonna see someone's gonna pick up an Audio Mac. And in the future, besides ghostwriters, you're going to have someone that's going to want to redo your unfinished raw art. And that is going to
Yeah,
be the real metaverse. That's going to be the real NFT, picking up an indie artist that stopped, or, whatever, and actually being able to auction songs off that you maybe never got signed, but I got a song to auction off. So just think about that.
wow,
That's something I've been thinking about. And I want artists that's why
that's
I
really
want artists to
dope.
contain some of their music, because pretty soon, if the music pops up as the NFT and it's just tracks or just lyrics writing from poetry, then pretty soon artists are going to be collecting those too, because they're running out of ideas. And then they took a lot of ideas
Yeah,
from indie artists. A lot of times indie artists people don't know how much sometimes those labels are taking from indie artists. They're taking it little by little, and then because the person is so well known, you don't know that they've actually taken from an artist. But I've been watching this game. I love watching
yeah,
this game.
yeah.
A lot of times people say, you're getting too old for this game. You know what? No, because when in the future, when someone needs a historian, I'm going to tell them what happened to a lot of this music. A lot of the music
Yeah.
got out of the hands of good people. People went and performed a song in front of an AR. They didn't get signed, maybe like a Bobby Schmurder. And then pretty soon they gave it to the next artist that was hot, changed a couple of
Mhm.
things, and that was someone else's song. And I can't wait for us to be protected. But I think artists should hang on to their music, don't throw it out, hold on to those old hard drives. And I'm telling you, pretty soon your music is going to be something that, like you said, you're going to tell your family, I told you it was going to get us rich. So,
Mhm.
B,
Yeah, that's
oh
facts.
my goodness, I gotta ask you to come back again. I always do.
Oh
You
man,
gotta come back. You gotta
anytime.
share more of your intelligence with us, because that's what the Zoom Sofa is all about. See,
Yeah,
it's all
yeah, no
about,
doubt.
you're an artist, then you go here, and it's the journey. But this is where it is. We know we need the indie artists and people who are getting ready to be motivated to do something they love. to just listen and tune in to us, and they'll be okay. So, any final words
Yeah,
before
no
we get
doubt.
out of here today?
Man, I just want to say thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying? I love Smooch's video. Like my first, man, I want to say my first solo interview, like the first Beats Future interview. So you know what I'm saying? And look, before we go, my boy told me this. He was like, he said, when I did after I did the first one, he was like, man, when you get bigger, you gotta give Smooch Radio another exclusive interview. You gotta give it to them. And I was like, I will,
Thank
you know what I'm
you.
saying? I
Oh my
will, you know what
goodness.
I'm saying?
I feel very honored because you're not the only one that said it. It means a lot coming from you. But that's what I hear. Artists was like, yo,
Yeah.
Smooches, I don't care what my label says. I'm going to say, you're going to sit me back down with this lady. I mean it. I want another one-on-one with her. I'm going to beg for that. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, thank you so much. They said you were so good.
Yeah.
So, there was a question I used to ask. One guy's like, you asked a question to me one day. What's your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal. You know what? Oh, dang. I gotta go with the Frosted Flakes, man.
Frosted Flakes.
I gotta go with the classic, man. I ain't
That's
gonna
right,
lie.
classics. Thank you so much, B. I thank you, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Please don't forget to go to our YouTube channel at Smooches Radio TV so you can hear this interview again and replay it, share it, and stare at it because we see you. Smooches.